I want to speak about the mystical intelligence of the heart. Having myself taught as a science teacher the biology of the heart, it was really fascinating to hear different aspects that are outside of the scientific dogma, purely mechanistic approach and paradigm of explaining the human body. So I really enjoyed to to listen about the communication that the heart, its intelligence lies in its communication with each and every cell of our body. So it's like on a mechanistical level, it's a pump that brings oxygen, that pumps the blood through our body, through the pulmonary system and through the system of the body. It's divided in four chambers. The atriums are the two upper chambers, and the ventricles, the lower chambers. And the blood gets oxygenated in the pulmonary circle or like system, and then the blood is pumped throughout the entire body. That the heart gives pressure waves according to the communication that it has established to the entire body. Was fascinating, because that means it's not only about oxygenating every cell, but it's hearing and receiving information about our emotional state, about physical states, about what is needed in different cells of our body at different moments. So it's a communication between our environment, emotions, and just like internal physiology. And the heart sends out these pressure waves, which we relate to, scientifically speaking, as the blood pressure, which is this systole over diastole. So the giving over receiving, like inhalation and exhalation. It's the rhythmic balance between giving and receiving. The pressure, and also like what we're measuring is the pressure between giving and receiving, and the resisting pressure is defined by the vessels. So the larger the vessels are, well, the smaller they are, the more pressure will be needed to pump the blood through the vessels. And the blood vessels contract or relax also according to our emotional well-being, like state of tension or deep relaxation. This changes. So it's sophisticated interaction between both of these systems. What I also didn't know and found extremely cool is that the heart does not need to. It's not a pump. It gives an impulse of pumping, but it does not need to pump. Give the force to pump this amount, 100 gallons, I think, per day, through the body, because the blood itself creates inside our vessels a vortex. Like it moves in a vortex, in two different intertwining vortexes that create an own movement, an own dynamic of movement, like how do you call it? A hurricane? Yeah, a hurricane, like a tornado. And so that means the blood is spiraling through the vessels and thus creates its own forward movement. That's amazing. And that also involves that different constituents of blood are spiraling at different. So the larger parts are more in the outside, like a vortex would create. um, yeah, and the red blood cells have their own vortex. So yeah, it's like gives me a beautiful inner image of how our blood flows in its own intelligent way through our body. Then the mystical, the mystical part I would relate to the electromagnetic field of our heart. So I learned that the heart has a larger electromagnetic field than the brain. It's larger even than like its ending has not been measured, and it's parallel to the electromagnetic field of the Earth, which opens up a whole understanding of also spiritual dimensions, how interconnected we are as human beings with each other, with the earth, with other living and sentient beings, because we create an electromagnetic field around us that reaches into the electromagnetic fields of other living creatures, and thus there can take place a energetic exchange, um, an energetic exchange and interaction of these magnetic fields. Um, yeah. Okay. What as midwife I think would be important to add is that I'm sorry. That when we listen to the fetus heartbeat, we would always listen to the variability of the heartbeat. That is more important than the actual number, to have like the witness, like the indication that there is a communication taking place between the fetal body, the internal fetal body, and the maternal body, and that there are adaptations and adjustments that are done. And that the communication can be measured through the variability of the heart rate. Like when it would be always the same heartbeat and it would never change, would be an indication that there is just no connection, and there is no internal connection within the fetal, the fetus's body, and no connection with the mother either. So we would listen to this variability, and also what would be important to keep in mind is that a big part of measuring of the mother's heartbeat in labor or in pregnancy is linked to the emotional experience that she is going through. So not to draw fast conclusions, but to take in the whole picture. Thank you for this lecture. It was amazing.